What's up guys, and welcome to the channel. My name is Micah, and today we're going to review the Mossberg Maverick 88. This is an extremely budget-friendly shotgun, so we're just going to go through all the different features, the specs, what this gun has to offer to you, if I think you should buy it, and then at the end of the video we're going to go out and shoot it and see how it does. So, without further ado, let's dive right in, guys. And before we get too far along, I definitely want to show you that the gun is unloaded here, so you can see that there is no shells in the chamber. Everything is clear and safe, because safety's first, guys. That's extremely important, and we always need to be on top of that. So I bought this gun here for $229. This is the Maverick 88 security version. So it has the 20-inch barrel, the 7+1 capacity, just the black finish on it, the synthetic stock. There's many different versions of this gun out there. I've seen 18-inch barrels, 20-inch barrels, 28-inch barrels, different colors, foldable stocks, pistol grips. I mean, there's a ton of these out there. You can really just kind of pick and choose whatever you want, whatever would meet your needs the best. And then all of your Mossberg 500 parts are going to bolt right up to this baby here. So if you want to customize your gun, kind of put your own twist on it, figure out what you need for your specific needs, there's a ton of options out there for you guys. So really like that about this gun. So this is the ultimate budget-friendly shotgun. I mean, with the price point, pretty much all your versions of this gun are going to be between that $200 and $250 mark. It's called the working man's shotgun, just for the price point, for the practicality of it, for the simplicity, and then for the reliability. You know, we'll get into the mechanics of this gun and you guys will see that it's really good. Mossberg really did an excellent job on this gun. They kind of poured their heart and soul into this just to make it a really good shooter for the everyday person. And they nailed it, guys, absolutely. So we will just start up at the front. Here you have a standard single bead front sight. It's nothing out of the norm. It's typically what you see on a lot of shotguns, and especially the tactical style ones. You know, with a shotgun having a spread to it, unless you're shooting slugs, you don't really need a blade sight, ghost ring sight, anything like that. You just kind of put that bead on whatever you want to shoot, you press the trigger, and it disappears. I really do like the finish on this bluing on the gun. You know, it has a really nice look to it, kind of this glossy black look. It feels really nice. You know, I've had a Remington 870, I have a Churchill 612, and I definitely like the finish on this more than those two guns. I will say that my Remington 870, it seemed like it was kind of a rougher, flatter texture, and it seemed like after every time I would take it out, there would always be surface rust forming on it. So it was a constant issue of having to clean that and oil it up to keep it looking nice. Whereas this one here, I think it's gonna stay really nice for a long, long time. So then moving down here, you get to the pump. I will say that this pump, it does have a little bit of play. You can kind of hear it. It's a little bit jiggly. And then I will say the texture on this is kind of unique. I've never really seen a shotgun that had this rigid texture, this ribbed texture, I guess you might call it. It feels okay, but if your hand is a little bit wet or sweaty, I can see it sliding off this easier than it should. So I could go for a more aggressive texture on the pump, but I think this will function just fine. You know, it does have these twin rods on it here, so everything stays super straight on it. You know, everything feels solid. Maybe could go for a different texture if it were my personal preference, but I definitely like the look of this. It's very pleasing to look at. So this gun has a steel anti-jam elevator on it. So everything's just kind of completely open here. It makes it very easy to feed shells into it. It just eats them really well. When you actuate the pump, you will see that elevator kind of come down. Everything is all metal in there. It has a really good feel to it. Pops right back up, throws one in the chamber. It's just a really good system that Mossberg put in there. It looks nice, feels nice. I can see that lasting a really long time. I don't think you're ever gonna have problems with that. And it does have dual steel extractors on it. So, I mean, this thing is just gonna throw out your empty shells, no problem. Feed in other ones, no problem. Really great mechanics and internals to this gun, guys. I mean, I would say it's better than all the other tactical style 12 gauges I've had, and this one is cheaper than all of them. So, love to see that. Props to Mossberg for putting that in there. As far as like the safety and the trigger, you know, your trigger guard here is going to be plastic. You know, that's just helping us get to that $200, $250 price point. And then the safety on it is just kind of a plastic cross-bolt safety. Not surprised that it's plastic with the price that it's at. Of course, I'd prefer a metal one, but it does seem to function perfectly fine. I will say that there is plenty of room in this trigger guard, so if you had gloves on, you got bigger fingers, whatever it may be, you're just gonna have no problem there getting your hand in there, pressing the trigger. Everything just seems to feel really nice there, so the pump release has a really good feel to it. It is behind the trigger there, so I kind of like the ergonomics of that I could press that with my middle finger while still keeping a finger near the trigger. Has a really nice feel to it. That is metal, so no complaints there. Moving back to the stock here, it is just that synthetic black stock on this version here, the Maverick 88 Security. Has a really nice aggressive texture on the grip. You know, I would have liked to see this same texture just up on the pump. It's not, and that's totally fine, but I am very glad that that aggressive texture is on the stock. It feels really good in your hand. It's just gonna make sure that that gun doesn't come out of your hand, that you can get a really good grip on it. And they do kind of have these cutouts here on the stock, if you can kind of see those. And that just helps your palm really fit in there, and it feels really good in your hands. You know, it has them on both sides, so if you're left-handed, right-handed, it's gonna work perfectly for you. I will say the stock pad on this is really nice and soft from the factory. It has a great feel to it. You know, these 12 gauges are gonna kick you pretty good, and so I do like to see a good stock pad from the factory on these. There is a little bit of texture there on the end, so that's just gonna help to keep it on your shoulder better too. But no complaints at all there. Good job, Mossberg. 5 stars there in my opinion. So overall, for what this gun is, for what it costs, for how it kind of feels and performs, you know, this is just an excellent value, guys. They can be extremely hard to find, is the one problem with these. But if you can find one, like this is a crazy good bang for the buck. You know, and with the price point, you don't have to think twice about getting it. Get one of them. Get 2 of them, you know? They're just really great guns. They have that Mossberg reliability. They're just manufactured very well. Some of my other tactical 12 gauges, you know, I will like the feel of the pump. A little bit better than this one. You know, some of my other ones will have a metal safety, a metal trigger guard there. This one has the plastic. The pump doesn't quite feel as good as some of my other guns, but for the price, I really cannot complain. I mean, this gun functions exactly how it should. It does feel good. You know, overall, I think this is a great value, a great bang for the buck. If you can't find one of these at your local sporting store, your local gun shop, I think this would be worth the $35, the $40, the $50, whatever it may be to ship it to your local dealer. You know, I think this gun would still be totally worth it, even if you had to pay that $270, $275 for it. I just really like this gun, you know, and that I got the version with the 7+1 capacity. That's an excellent capacity for a 12 gauge tactical shotgun. I mean, to be able to have 8 shells walking around, I mean, that's awesome. You know, my Churchill 612 tactical has a 5+1 capacity, which goes down to 4+1 once you're using 3-inch shells. So, I mean, with your 12 gauge, you should have the job done within 1 or 2 shots. But if you're just going out and recreationally shooting or anything like that, it is pretty nice to have that 7+1 capacity, and it is peace of mind in a self-defense, home defense setting to have plenty of shells just ready to go in the gun. So love the capacity on this, guys. I do love the finish. that bluing on it, you know, like the texturing on the stock there, the pad. The trigger, I will say, we didn't go over the trigger brake. It feels like it's about a 5-pound trigger. If I had to guess, yeah, about 5 pounds. And there's not a ton of play in it. You know, it's just, you're pretty much right at the wall, right off the bat. So you just press that 5 pounds and it goes. So yeah, no complaints there. Overall, definitely go get one of these guys if you can find it. If you can't, pay the extra, have it shipped to your dealer. You're gonna love the heck out of this shotgun, I promise you. So without further ado, let's go hit the range, let's put some rounds through it, and let's see how this baby does. So now we're gonna kind of see what the spread is from this 20-inch barrel. So I've got a few cardboard boxes, and then we're just gonna set them about 10 yards out and kind of see what kind of a pattern we get on them. So then from about 10 yards out, we're getting a grouping of about a foot wide there. So about a foot spread at 10 yards with that 20-inch barrel version. Gonna wrap up the video for us, guys. Like the video if it helped you out. Subscribe if you want to see more. And until next time, have a great night, guys. So, and then in Japan, they call this gun the Hayasuka, which means the panty dropper.
Okay, but chances are they don't know Japanese and they won't know that that's not true and that I made up those words.
And this could make a really good concealed carry gun just to put it down one of your pant legs, you know, have it run alongside your leg.
Okay, I'm not saying that it's practical, what I'm saying is that it's possible.
And then this gun is the transformer of the gun world. If you buy it, Megan Fox will come running.
She's probably on her way right now. What do you...
And then by buying this shotgun, you are exempt from the vaccine mandate.
Okay, I'm not trying to get into what I meant by that. All I'm saying is that...
And then this gun is an absolute beast. I mean, you gotta have like a 12-inch cock to even use this thing.
But they don't know that, so don't tell them that I'm only working with...